Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Trailer Park Boys Countdown to Liquor Day. So in my previous Trailer Park Boys movie review, I told you all that I'm a huge fan of the series and I'm currently rewatching it. So I'm currently on season 8, and from the research that I did, I found out that this movie is not really a sequel to the first Trailer Park Boys movie. It's kind of its own thing, and this, from what I've read, this movie takes place after the 7th season, and I've also heard that it takes place after the special called "Say Goodnight to the Bad Guys," which I'm pretty sure that special came after the 7th season. Yeah, so I mean, if I'm on season 8, of course I watched season 7. "Say Goodnight to the Bad Guys" I did not watch, but I think I mean, I don't think I was out of the loop. I don't think I was really missing that much information. Um, I feel like this movie, even though, it does take place supposedly after the 7th season, um, I don't know. I feel like you could just kind of jump into this and you could still know what's going on. But anyways, in terms of my overall enjoyment of the film, I thought it was solid. There was nothing wrong with it. Uh, it just it really just felt like a feature length version of an episode. Um, it was very true to the show. Like it was seamless. It just felt like I was watching another episode, but it was just a longer episode. So um, the comedy was on point. The story was pretty darn good. I really liked, their the big crime that they did in the third act. The third act was just, it was action packed. It was awesome. So yeah, super solid movie. But now that I gave you all my overall opinion, I'm gonna get into a little plot summary. So, of course, the movie starts with the main characters in jail. You know the drill, you know how it goes. And it's really funny because, they're trying to, get out of jail, and they have to, like, talk to these people. They're, like, being interviewed, like, why should we let you back in society? Like, are you reformed? Blah, blah, blah. So, there, it's like, you got Julian is, being questioned, and then also Ricky, in two separate rooms, and it keeps cutting back and forth between their little discussions with these people. And Julian, he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go legit. I'm not doing crime anymore. I have this idea for a business. I'm doing this auto body shop out of my trailer. um, he has this whole detailed plan, and he's really, on his P's and Q's, trying to sell it to this board that he's gonna get out and he's not gonna reoffend. And then it'll cut to Ricky, and he's just like, you know what, guys? Yeah, I'm not gonna do crimes anymore. I'm gonna go legit. I'm just telling you what you want to hear. He's like, you know what? But realistically, when I get out, I'm just gonna grow dope. He's like, that's what I'm good at. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I'm gonna do. So that whole sequence was absolutely hilarious. Just classic stuff right there. So, anyways, Ricky and Julian get out, and Julian actually does, turn his trailer into an auto body shop. And meanwhile, Leahy he's totally clean. He's off the liquor, and he opened this new trailer park. He's running this new trailer park, and in order to get the, the sewer, like the septic system for that park runs right over where Julian's current trailer is. So Leahy keeps talking to Julian, and he's trying to buy him out. He's trying to buy his trailer. He's gonna like hook him up with a new trailer at the new park, and Julian's like, you know what, this is my home, this is my grandma's trailer that she gave to me, this is just, it's sentimental, I'm not gonna sell. He's like, thanks for the offer, but no. So throughout the movie, Leahy's trying to get Julian's trailer, and the boys are cooking up, like Julian's doing his little auto body thing. Julian and Ricky are cooking up some crimes, and eventually later in the story, Leahy has one sip of beer, and like that's enough to just totally unleash the beast and get him to go back into his ways of being a full-blown alcoholic, and he starts going crazy. And all the characters kind of eventually, like later in the movie, they need money, but Julian, his like once Leahy is just off the liquor, he destroys Julian's trailer, and it's covered by insurance, but they all need money at this point. They're out of jail. Bubbles is trying to save his cats. Julian probably wants to fix his auto body shop. Like, even though his trailer's insured, he's gotta, he needs money for that. So they need money. They decide to rob a bank, and that's basically it. So one thing that was interesting about this movie is that when they're doing this big bank heist towards the end of the movie, they're working with Randy, because in this movie, Randy and Leahy, they're having some relationship problems. I just thought that was super interesting that they're working with Randy. Like, when the heck does that ever happen? Like, they totally despise Randy usually, and then I don't even think he's the assistant trailer park supervisor. He's not a guy who typically is committing crimes. So I thought that was unique, and that was kind of crazy. Another crazy thing is Bubbles has a love interest, which I don't know if I should know, because I'm watching the show right now, but I got bad short-term memory. I don't know. But Bubbles has a love interest. There's, at the little clinic where all his cats are being kept, basically there's this, vet or whatever. Maybe she's like a vet's assistant. I don't know. But, she asks him out later in the movie, and it's a cute little romance. It's good to see the boy Bubbles, get a little girlfriend, because, out of all these guys, he's like the nicest guy. He's a good-hearted gentleman, so it's nice to see him, winning, getting a girl. That's a beautiful situation. And I kind of talked about this earlier, but this movie, it seamlessly feels, it just has like a seamless feel to it. It doesn't seem like they're trying to adapt Trailer Park Boys into a movie. It just feels like an episode. I thought the comedy was great. I'm pretty sure I talked about this earlier, but the story was great also. Really liked the third act. And I gotta give this movie credit, because it is really hard to adapt a show into a feature-length movie. It's the type of thing where a lot of the times when you try to turn a show into a movie, it just doesn't have the same feel, or it just doesn't translate. And I feel like this, like I said, it just translated seamlessly. It just felt like you're just watching a long episode. So that was super awesome. Um, just some notable funny moments. I already touched on this earlier, but how Ricky's, telling the people, like when he's trying to get out of jail, he's saying like, yeah, I'm just gonna get out of here, I'm just gonna grow dope. That was hilarious. When they're robbing the bank, Randy gets shot through his gut, and then Ricky keeps saying, like, because you know how you would say like, oh, it's just a flesh wound, like 3 times Ricky's just like, chill out, man, it's just a fat wound, it's just a fat wound. That was absolutely hilarious. And then there's this epic car chase, all the guys, they're trying to get away from the cops, and Leahy is chasing them as well. And basically, like, Leahy pisses on them, and then Ricky, he's like, pull up. Like, they're being chased by police, but he's got his priorities right. Like, he just got pissed on by Leahy. He's got to piss on him back. So while they're being chased in this high-speed chase by the cops, he's like pissing on Leahy, and then he grabs his bottle. He's just like taking a big swig from his bottle. So that was absolutely hilarious. There was so many other hilarious moments, but I don't want this video to be like 3 hours long, so I'm not gonna go over every single thing, but the comedy was on point in this. There was a post credit scene with J-Rock, and he's being interviewed. Basically, he gets his big break and he becomes a famous rapper. The interview with J-Rock at the end was absolutely hilarious. You had all like the J-Rock isms, just he's talking his crazy J-Rock talk. That was awesome. And J-Rock is in this movie a decent amount, which I was happy about because I'm a huge J-Rock fan, and he's just he's just like a side character. So he's not in every episode. He's not, if he is in an episode, he's not going to be in it as much as the main characters, but I feel like he was in this movie a decent amount, and he was absolutely hilarious. I kind of touched on this, but just to go over it again, the third act, it was action-packed. The stakes were high. There was this instance where, like Leahy was gonna like off himself, and like while they're trying to rob the bank, Leahy comes, he's causing this commotion, trying to off himself. That's pretty high stakes, because of course they don't want that on their conscience, that like Leahy's gonna kill himself. And then they rob the bank. There's this crazy shootout. There's this crazy car chase. It's just, and I mean, it's just if it's a movie, they can't just be doing some petty crime like I don't know, like just doing like a little drug deal or something. Like, I feel like for a movie, this was an epic crime. Like they have this elaborate plan. They're robbing the bank. Just everything goes wrong, and they're just out in public, just causing trouble in the neighborhood. So the third act was absolutely awesome, and they did end up in jail, but they only got like a 2-week sentence because the arresting officer was drunk. So I would say it's a happy ending for the most part. So that was pretty much the last thing I wanted to touch on. But like I said, I'm a huge fan of the show. It's super fun rewatching it right now, and I mean, so far with the movies, they're 2 for 2. The first Trailer Park Boys movie, absolutely amazing. This was awesome. So if you're a fan of the show, you gotta watch these movies. They're super fun. It's kind of fun. Like, it's fun to watch them like in the order of like, like I said, I just finished season 7, so it's kind of something fun to do while you're watching the show. You got to supplement the show with the movies. More Trailer Park Boys, you can never go wrong. So I would absolutely recommend it. This movie rocks. But with that being said, I said everything that I wanted to say. So thank you all very much for watching, and peace out.